We're tracking Saturday storms that could bring some hailers. Take a look at your significant hail model that stretches with some decent size hail anywhere from Omaha all the way down to Dallas. So let's take a look at your hail forecast, and then we'll get into the models and we'll talk timeline for each city here. Omaha, a low risk for Omaha. However, if we can get a storm up here, I think that hail could be pretty large. Kansas City, the hail size is increased as we head into Kansas, Missouri, and the northern side of Oklahoma. The hail risk increases into Wichita. I think the best chances for some large hail will be both Wichita and Tulsa. Now that risk goes down, and so do those hail sizes as we head farther down to the south into Oklahoma City, Dallas, and even farther down into Texas. So let's take a look at the models here and we'll talk timeline. First, let's talk about the highest or the largest hail size, hen egg sized hail. I went larger than a golf ball here, up to 2 inches in size and diameter. For those large hailstones are possible. Now let's talk timeline here. Let's go city by city. First up is Omaha. Omaha, it looks like those storms could come in right around 7 o'clock and end by 10 o'clock. So ending by the late night on Saturday. Now the HRRR model, the HRRR, really wants to pull storms right into Omaha. The NAM doesn't do a good job showing this. So we'll see what happens here. But because of that model inconsistency, I did keep your chances a little bit lower. We're right in the moderate zone there. That's a level 2. Still, you could see up to ping pong ball size hail. And again, that timeline between 7 o'clock and 10 o'clock on Saturday night. Let's move down to Kansas now, where you're going to see those storms start to explode just to the west and north of Wichita here. And if they could get far enough north into KC, we could see some large hail in Kansas City as well. Let's go down to Wichita, then we'll go back up to Kansas City. So your timeline here is right around 6 to 10 o'clock on Saturday evening. Here at 5:30, no storms on the radar. I told you it's going to be a waiting game, and then those storms will fire, and when it's on, it's on. There you go, storms firing right around 6 o'clock, and then we'll see them continue to track to the east into Wichita as we head into the late evening hours. By about 10 o'clock, Wichita, you should be severe clear. All of those storms will be farther to the east. Hail sizes here up to 2 inches in size. We call that very large hail. The chance for just 1 inch hail, the size of a quarter, still pretty high. I think that Wichita has a really good chance to get some large hail in this area. And then off to the east of Wichita here, you're also going to see some large hail. We'll talk about Tulsa in a moment, but let's get up to KC first. I told you that some of these models don't want to bring storms into Kansas City. I switched back over to the HRRR. The HRRR does want to bring storms into Kansas City. So that's the model that you're seeing here. The timeline for this here is about 9 o'clock to 1 a.m. You're going to see those storms come in through the late night hours. It's going to be dark. They're probably going to be pretty loud. And yes, they could bring some large hail. If you get storms in this area, up to 2-inch size hail is possible. But again, because of that model inconsistency here, models can't agree on what's going to happen. I did keep that chance on the lower side right about a level 2. It's a moderate on our scaling here. By about 1 o'clock, your storms are off to the east and you are also severe clear, ready to go to bed. Now let's move down into Oklahoma. We're talking about Tulsa and Oklahoma City here. Let's start with OKC and then we'll move up to Tulsa. Now I started with Oklahoma City because it's a pretty low chance that these storms come far enough to the south. I think that most of these storms are going to stay north to Oklahoma City. So if you live in places like Guthrie, Stillwater, Enid, you will probably have better chances for storms. But you can see those storms tracking through the late night hours. It's after midnight at this point. It's dark out there. Maybe you're asleep by this point, 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. If we can get a storm into the city, I think that hail size has the potential to be pretty large. But again, that chance is so low. I kept our chances pretty low here in OKC. But you know who has really good chances to see hail? Tulsa. So let's take a look at Tulsa here. You go farther up to the north, and yes, those storms that are coming out of Kansas and out of the central northern portion of Oklahoma, these will hit Tulsa right around 2 to 5 o'clock in the morning here. Your largest hail size could get up to the size of a hen egg, 2 inches in size, which we consider very large. I put that at a moderate risk, highlighted in yellow. That is a level 2. And there's your model with those storms coming through. Maybe best timing here, right around 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, but you'll be severe clear by about 5 o'clock. So by the time you get out on Sunday morning to maybe go to church, run your Sunday morning errands, you should be severe clear. Maybe a little bit of rain, but none of it should be severe. Now, Dallas is a different story. Dallas, I think that those hail sizes are going to be on the smaller side and most likely earlier in the evening. So not these overnight 2, 3, 4 a.m. storms. I think that you're talking about 10 to 1 a.m., I guess still late on Saturday, early Sunday morning. But I kept our risk really low in Dallas. I think that it's going to be a very small chance that you get large hail up here. Could you get up to ping pong ball size hail? It's possible. I think that those hail sizes are going to be much lower. I'm really not expecting anything too significant in Dallas. But again, that timeline here, 10 o'clock to 1 a.m. By about 1 o'clock, you should be severe clear. As always, hail trace meteorologists will have our eyes on these storms. It doesn't matter how many storms we have out there. We'll have Mets in here tracking those storms. So make sure that you follow along and give us a call if you need to subscribe to a hail, wind, or tornado map.